Hello guys, welcome to another YouTube update. We're here at Ayari Organics, back at the farm, just having a look at this capsicum. We're talking about farming and basically specifically regenerative farming, trying to get back soil's health and ensuring that we are growing foods without chemical interventions, doing it organically, restoring soil health for healthy food. Our capsicum are doing pretty well. This is quite satisfactory up to this point. Just a few challenges here again with the cutworms. We found that we've had to do quite a number of replacements and we still need to do more. Of course, there was some replacements that died out due to the fact that we planted them when weather was not so conducive. It was really hot. So we have those replacements to do, and we still have the cutworms to contend with. Still trying to find a biological fix, and that has been a bit of a challenge, especially given that I cannot find anything in the agrovets around here. I'm in Kitale. Would try to look at some recipes that you can do at the farm. Basically do it on the farm. We are not going to get tempted to go the chemical way. We'll just keep doing the replacements. Of course, that is an indicator of a poor soil health. That should get better over time as we continue restoring. So we've had this other area cleared up. So there's some seedlings that are coming up that will be coming into this area. This will be a no dig. You can see all the crop residue on top. Of course, the slashing up, there's still some grasses still left attached on the ground, but that's not a very big concern. We'll manage it as we go. Maybe the really stubborn stumps, maybe some bits like this is what we'll try to pull out. We are also going to do a spray of microorganisms on this crop residue that is lying on top. Just waiting to do it in the afternoon when it's cooler, so that we can have the biology working itself in at night. I think that would be more conducive. So we'll be back in the afternoon when we're doing the spraying. For now it's a bit hot. So yep, see you in the afternoon. Welcome back. It's afternoon, and we're now starting to do the spray. This is the stuff that you're spraying. These are the microorganisms cultured. You can buy you can get this from agrovets. That's EM1, and you can basically just multiply it. Use some molasses, say a liter of molasses, a liter of the microorganisms, to 18 liters of water, just to make the 20 liters. We dilute it at, we use this cup, about 2 cups on a 20 liter knapsack. Yeah. So just spraying it on the crop residue. Also, if it gets to the soil, basically just working the microorganisms in the soil help to break down the organic matter or the crop residue, and also trying to work in the microorganisms into the soil, get the biology starting. Yeah, before we'll give this about a month before we can plant. Yeah, still I think, or there definitely has to be some growth before then, so we'll have to slash again, and also we could do a couple of rounds of the spray as well. Yeah, basically we'd have to spray another 1 or 2 rounds. Yeah, the assumption is that the soil would be low on biology because of prior practice of tilling the soil. So we just want to kickstart and multiply. So basically this is a bacteria, but as also the residue starts breaking down, we'll have a lot of fungus as well eating the residue. Get the soil structure building. Yeah, it's basically because of destruction of soil structure, or basically because of killing soil biology, that soil loses structure, and you end up with heavily packed soil that leads to compaction. So basically when your soil loses structure, then it becomes compacted. It is not necessarily because of just running heavy machinery or equipment. It is also because of having loose soils that is poor in biology. So when it rains, as the soil keeps packing, you get a compaction layer right where your tillage equipment reaches, and you get that water cannot, or plant roots cannot penetrate or go beyond your compaction layer. And, yeah, basically that. Your roots start, instead of going deeper or going down, they start growing sideways. Also, on the compaction layer, you'd have anaerobic conditions. So with the creations of alcohol, with the anaerobic conditions, then plant roots start dying. Then they start becoming susceptible to disease as well. A whole lot of issues. So yep, basically want to see how this goes. Maintain the residue on some parts is a bit thick, so the soil is well covered. On other parts, not quite so. Is a bit bare. but we expect that there'll be weeds coming up, growing. If we get material to mulch, then we do that. We also intend to let a lot of other stuff grow as well. Take advantage of the soil cover or green soil cover to capture or to get as much photosynthesis and feeding soil biology to grow soil carbon. Yeah, maybe it's the tipping point where you find you've got really healthy soils that can support your crops without having to worry too much about disease and pests and all those things that force us to use harsh chemicals. The tipping point maybe would be reached after some time. In the initial stages, I find that you would have to contend with some of those issues. But as time goes, as you keep building biology, and as the soils become healthier, then the whole system works together. Yeah, it's a symbiosis, the relationship between the crop and the soil biology. They look out for each other. The crops feeds the biology in turns also extracts minerals from the soil also to feed the crop. It's an exchange, and the biology also protects the crop from disease and pests. It is something that quite a unique relationship there, and something that sometimes is difficult to understand from a conventional farming mindset. If you're used to fighting disease using the conventional way, then it becomes very difficult to understand how that works. But for those who have done this a bit, can attest that you don't really have a lot of disease and pests to fight. And over time, your crops now, or your healthier soils, grows crops that are more resilient, with a stronger immunity. Yeah, with a stronger immunity. And also the biology helps to protect the crops. This capsicum doing really well. Yeah. Yeah, I'm happy with the progress. So we have some nurseries coming up down here. Just did the nursery a week ago. Some onions, that is bunching onions and bulb onions. We have some kale and broccoli. So these are the crops that will be going into the space that we are now starting to prepare. Yeah, we did some spinach right here. That was today, so that has not germinated yet. These other ones are also still very tiny to be visible. I think maybe in another week's time we'll be able to see them better. Yeah, so this is what will be going into that space that we just slashed, and maybe the space above, right above the bananas right there. We have this space down here that has some kale and I think intercropped with beans. We'll let this keep here for a while before we can now come work into this space. There's some more space down there that we had some maize removed. We'll be moving, gradually from up this side, coming down this side. Still with a no dig, regenerate. The growth here is quite big, with a lot of this grass. Yeah, this might prove to be a bit challenging, but hopefully we are up to the task. Yeah, all this growth with the zero tillage is really an amazing way of working, and it is one way that you really just have to see it in practice to understand or to accept. It is difficult for some people to conceptualize how you can grow a crop in such without first of all having to prepare it in way of tillage. Yeah, but that is exactly what we're doing, and hopefully we'll be able to extend this out to other farmers, teach this practice, because it is for the benefit of our environment, for the benefit of consumers of the produce. You basically produce healthier food. The system also, because of carbon capture and carbon storage, we are able to use farming as a tool for mitigating against climate change. Remember, climate change, they've just burned too much fossil fuels and released a lot of carbon into the atmosphere, and we need to get that carbon back to where it belongs, which is in the soils, where it is needed for plant health and for general health of the planet. So that is it for today's update. Looking forward to another update. If you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button, leave a like, leave a comment. We can interact and share ideas or thoughts on soil regeneration or regenerative farming. So until another update, keep safe, and God bless you. Thank you.